Now that you have knowledge of the different data types that you can have in a MySQL table, I want to show you how to apply that to actually creating a table. We're going to use a form that asks for a customer shipping and billing information as a template for this table. In order to determine what the table structure is, we should first examine the form. You can see here that the billing and shipping information is fairly similar. We have first names, last names, company addresses, city, state, province, country, postal and zip codes, phone and emails. So first, what we need to do is type out all the fields that we need to store. Obviously, we have a shipping and billing copy of each of these, so we'll need to separate them in the table. So in order to separate these, what we're going to do is for the shipping information, we add shp underscore to all of the shipping. And to the billing information, we're going to add bill underscore. Now we're actually ready to define the types for the database. It's going to be fairly easy for this form because we're all going to have string types. What's tricky is deciding the maximum length of the string types. We want to have enough room to get all of the information, but we want to be careful not to make them too large because that will waste memory space in our database. So I generally have a rule of thumb for string length in relation to these fields since I've worked with them so much. They go like this. Names, 50 characters per name, which means varchar 50. Now I'm using varchars because, of course, they're variable character types. I don't know exactly how many characters I'm going to have in our first name. So to be more efficient, we make them varchars. So that's our first and last name. Shipping, billing, first and last name. Company names have up to 100 characters. Varchar 100. Addresses, also up to 100 characters. Cities, 50. And again, this is just from experience in creating these forms over and over and over and over again. We're going to skip the state and province and countries for a moment. Postal and zip codes, 15 characters. Phone numbers have 20 characters, and emails have 100. So, using these numbers leave a little bit of room to play with, just in case the customer enters in more data than we expect. We don't risk actually losing that data. So now we still have to define the state, province, and country fields. Because this form, if we take another look at it here, has drop-downs for the province and country here, we're going to know exactly the maximum number of entered characters are. So if we take our selection options, we're going to find that the longest listed state in our options here is Newfoundland and Labrador. So if we get the length of that, we see we have 25 characters. So back to our table definition, we know that we're not going to have more than 25 characters for our state province selection in the shipping. If we check our country drop-down, we're going to see that United States is the longest length, which is 13 characters. So we're going to set our shipping character length to be 13. Now when we check out the billing info, we see that the state province selection, we only want maximum length of 2 characters. So that makes it very easy. We're going to make this a char field 2. Now our country, on the other hand, we're actually letting the customer enter that in. So we're going to set that to be a maximum number of characters of 100. Now back in that field, what we do is we take the max length characters and actually filter our script to make sure that the customer didn't try to sneak by more characters than we have available in the database for them. That's all with all our fields. So now all we have to do is finish our table creation statement, which we'll do in the next movie.